Hello Internet. So today's a bit less of a base van kind of update. Today's more of a how we're getting on with building the engine and what we're doing with it. Essentially, while the engine's off the car, it made sense just to go through, clean everything, and change all the seals you can't normally get to. So obviously you got the intake and the exhaust manifolds that go on here. Normally these are at the back of the engine and they're an absolute nightmare to get to. So I've managed to go to Euro Car Parts. God knows if I've got the right ones, but I've got the intake and exhaust manifolds here and here. I've also got a seal for the turbo housing. If you come around this side of the engine, you can see that things have been painted. Oil cooler and filter housing have been removed and painted. Alternator bracket has been off and painted. I've got rid of all of the rust from the lower part of the engine. The dipstick unfortunately snapped, so I'm going to have to put a new one of them on, but they're just kind of pushed on anyway, I think. Yeah, so everything has had nice new seals. Obviously cam belt over here, while it's off the engine, it makes sense to do a new one. So we've got a new cam belt and water pump over here. Now when it comes time to doing things like the cam belt and the water pump, I ain't touching it. Not for me, thank you very much, because that's scary, and if I do it, I'll turn the key and this whole thing will just explode. Don't know how, but it will. Now, for as long as I've owned this thing, it's had a leak in between the gearbox and the engine itself, and it turns out it's this, which is a crankshaft seal. So that just kind of sits on there and seals off the crankshaft. Now what happened in my case was that the sealant that goes under here had either wasn't there or just kind of perished away really. You can see it's sort of in here just about, but that wasn't doing quite a good enough job anymore. So we're going to scrape all of that off and fit our new seal. Ta-da! That way? That way. Ta-da! But what I don't want to do is push this sealant into the sump. So I'm going to lift one side of it with a Stanley knife and hopefully be able to just pinch that out there, like that. Lovely. So it's all cleaned up. You've got a wee bit of brake and clutch cleaner. We want to get this as clean as possible, because if we don't, it ain't going to stick properly. You can see there's still quite a lot of sealant on there, so we're going to get all of that off. So the lighting's gone a bit crap, but bear with it. So we're all clean now. I'm going to replace and bolt on the new gasket. Okay, so now we've got a new crankshaft seal on. I'm going to put the intake manifold on first, I think, because the exhaust manifold still needs a lot of cleaning. Well, it's dawned on me that, like a dickhead, I was given two of the same gasket. Looks like I'm going back. I literally cannot believe that Euro Car Parts didn't even tell me I was ordering the wrong thing. I'll come all the way back and get a new one. So not only did they not tell me that I'd bought the wrong thing, they also didn't have the thing I did need in. I'm going to go see old GSF Car Parts now, and hopefully they've got the right one. Right. Let's see if GSF gets me. See GSF. GSF knows. Does it fit? Right. Yeah. Somewhere like that, I reckon. we all got washers? Yes, every bolt has a washer. Good news. Right. Ugh. We're a bit gooey. Can't be dealing with a bit of goo. Also, obviously, because it's a very thin metal gasket, I don't want even the tiniest bit of crap in between this and the engine. Because if there is, it's not going to sit flat, and it's going to break, and it's going to leak. And I'll have to take the engine out and throw it in the bin. So, I'm thinking the best plan is to probably put a bolt in, put this on like that. That's fun. I just realised I didn't clean the engine, but I think, yeah, that's pretty clean anyway. That's alright. I did clean it the other day, so whatever's on there is just a bit of like lice. Lice? My engine's got lice. Bit of light covering grease. You will see that I've just cleaned the bit that people are going to see, because that's all that matters. No one's going to get under this car at a show. Van, Christ. This is literally just going to be a video of me rambling to myself, so hope you enjoy. Next thing on the agenda is to replace the gasket for the exhaust manifold. I'll give it a bit of a clean up as well, but I'm not going to worry about this. But you can quite clearly see it looks like, because the amount of crap that's currently on these, that gasket probably wasn't doing a lot last time round. Now this is just brake and clutch cleaner in a triple QX bottle, because that's just going to evaporate. So what I'm spraying in here won't matter, because it's all going to be gone long before this thing gets turned on. Kind of like your mum. Gone before she's even turned on. Oh no, that's definitely not correct. So let's come off. Let's compare this to the other one actually, see if it's going to be any different at all. Let's do the old one. It's caked in oil and crap, and I still never really knew where that was coming from. But you'd imagine if all of these ports were sealed, this wouldn't be covered in oil. So hopefully this one will be less crap. It doesn't fit. Are you joking me? Oh no. Me being a muppet. Get on there. Get in the hole. I'm going to use my hammer. There we go. You just got to threaten it with a hammer. And it'll go on beautifully. Okay. Clean, 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 clean-ish. Clean enough. Crikey, this thing's got a little bit of weight to it. One, 2, 3, 4. Cool. It's starting to resemble an engine again. It's kind of nice. So what I'm doing here, because my EGR is deleted, and there's not really any seal to go on this plate, the blanking plate that covers the EGR valve, where the EGR valve was, sorry. So I've just put some sealant in there to make damn sure we cannot leak any boost out of there. Squidgy. Whoa! It's daylight. How did that happen? Although before the day finished yesterday, I pretty much got everything that you saw done. I still need to find, well, I'm still waiting on somebody for the cambo. The EGR delete is on. All the rest of the intercooler piping is kind of just dotted around the garage at the moment. But there's no point putting that on until I can put the engine actually in place. This is all cleaned up. Whilst it is in place, I've got seals on the way for that, so that's not going to go on just yet. Over here, and I'm painting engine mounts and things to make them all look roughly pretty. The high pressure fuel rails I'm painting mainly because they were corroded, so I've sanded the corrosion back and I'm just going to paint them, but they'll need replacing at some point anyway. There's the mounts, most of which are now painted. The one nearest you'll never see because it's underneath the gearbox and the engine anyway. I don't even know if I'll need it, but I thought I'd paint it anyway just for funsies. Now I'm going to bolt the flywheel on. Bollocks, I need to put the bloody guard on, didn't I? Cock. Wonderful. Okay, so the flywheel is on. I've not torqued it up yet. I need to look up how to check for wear on a clutch, because I don't know if this looks good or bad. You can sort of see bits of copper coming through there. I don't know what that means, but I'm going to check that out in a minute. All the engine mounts and fuel rails are looking all right. They're coming along quite nicely. Yeah. The only other thing is that I've completely forgotten what goes in this hole. So, what the f went in that hole? I can't remember. What the f went in that hole? My memory shit. How do I plug the hole? How do I plug the hole? What the f went in that hole? My memory shit. Google tells me that because we're not down to the rivets on either side, we're likely in pretty good shape. Yeah, the ones that I saw online didn't have any of the tread lift on them, so we should be okay. And there's not really any wear on this pressure plate either, which is good. So alternators aside, which need to come off and be painted, the engine is by and large back together. We still need to do the seal on the diesel pump. Turbo's on, all new gaskets, all new manifolds are on, flywheel is on. All I've got here is a wiring diagram for what I need to get this engine to run. These are just screenshots from Facebook, but hopefully everything is there. I have no idea how I'm gonna wire this in or understand this, but it's gonna be fun. That's just a little update of where we are with this. Obviously this isn't the normal style of video I'd normally go for, but a lot of behind the scenes work is currently going in to try and make sure we've got something reliable at the end of all this. But yeah, jolly good fun. On Saturday, I believe, we're starting welding. So provided this thing will actually drive to the workshop in its current condition, which is very rod knocky, if it makes it, we're going to start hopefully making some kind of cage work. We'll start with the floor. Yeah, and have a lot more fun. So tune in probably next Monday or Tuesday when I'll be able to upload that video, and I'll see you soon.